Hey everyone, welcome back to Pick Six, the NFL betting preview show out of the Faux Football podcast. My name is Ollie, and I'm joined by my good friend, opponent, acquaintance, Liam, as always. Now, mate, let's not sugarcoat anything that happened last week. It was pretty disastrous. How are we feeling ahead of this week?
Um, bit low on confidence, mate, but yeah, ready to bounce back. I'll be completely honest. I don't think many people did well last week, so I don't think we were an outlier. There was a lot of shocks. A lot of the underdogs won. Yeah, yeah,
I think two
yeah, just
favorites
tough.
covered, was it? And then the Seahawks pushed.
Yeah, off memory, it was just the Chargers, which was probably a bit of a gift, wasn't it? Four and a half points
Yeah,
at the
looking back,
Panthers, and then the
the
Jets,
the
which
Jets, yeah.
even that went sort of. If it wasn't for Will Levis literally rolling the ball, that could have been a completely different game.
He's on a generational run of like funny photos. That one in week one still takes me out.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, we were saying before, 2 weeks into the season, I we know as probably about as little as we did pre-season as we do now. Don't know who's good, don't know who's bad, apart from the Panthers. Half of everyone's fantasy teams on IR for some reason. Can't pick a winner. So yeah, mate, just gotta start with the picks.
I'm going to probably one of the marquee games. Both 2-0 teams here. Texans go to the Vikings, obviously off the win at against San Francisco. Sorry, going for the under here. I think 46 points is quite a lot. Got some good defense there against some banged up offenses. The reason for the take here. Couple of O-line pieces from Minnesota. Looking like Jordan Addison will probably be out. I've not seen the injury report for today, but he didn't practice at all. It's looking like he'll be out. And whether it's Justin Jefferson's 100% as well, that would be not sure that's going to be the case come Sunday. As for Texans, Joe Mixon, I'd be surprised if he plays. He took a pretty nasty knock on, I think it was his ankle on Sunday Night Football, and Nico Collins as well didn't practice, so they might not be 100%. I think this will be quite a close game. So yeah, I'll take the under. The defenses have been showing me good things.
Very nice. I will join you on the unders with the Raiders versus the Panthers. It looks like the Raiders might have themselves a pretty good defense. Antonio Pierce got them playing pretty physical football. Max Crosby, who might be questionable this week, but I think he's that kind of guy who just plays like regardless. I don't think he's going to really get rested much. He's been killing it. Christian Wilkins has been a big addition to their defense. And I think the Panthers are going to be forced to pass quite a lot this game. And Bryce Young or no Bryce Young, their receivers aren't separating. There's no run game, and their O line is pretty awful. So can't really see them putting up many points. The Raiders' run game, on the other hand, is also a bit of an issue. So usually, obviously, when teams are ahead, they look to run the ball, drain as much clock as possible. But they are getting Jackson Howers Johnson, the guard out of, was it Oregon? I believe, second round pick
Yes,
in the draft
yeah, I
this
think
year.
so. Yeah.
He might make his debut apart from injury. But yeah, we'll see what Dalton can do. But I'm not expecting sort of a 10-point swing from Bryce to him. And just a little tidbit, the total has gone under in 10 of Carolina's last 13. So that is under 40 in Raiders versus Carolina.
Very nice, mate. I was close to triggering the -5 for the Raiders, but
Was
couldn't
tempting.
bring myself to do it. Couldn't bring myself to do it. Instead, I've gone with the minus. I've bought half a point here. -6.5 with the 49ers. They're up against the Rams. Now, I know I backed the Rams last week. I thought Sean McVay would be able to do something with a sort of made up O line. They at least still had Cooper Cup. They now still have the same O line troubles, and now they don't have Cooper Cup either. Just can't see LA scoring enough points. It is at SoFi, but from memory, games at SoFi against the 49ers, the stands are usually
Sea of
red.
red. Yep, a
Yep.
sea of red.
So that's going to feel like a home game for the 49ers. I mean, I like Jordan Mason. I think they're without McCaffrey, obviously, they're losing a great player, but I mean, Mason's putting up the numbers, getting 100 sort of rush yards in both games. I think he sort of touched on last week as well. So I'd like them to stay there. No Devo Samuel, but I think they should be okay. As you said, Rams shouldn't have much on offense. But yeah, as I said, it's going to feel like a home game for the 49ers, and Kyle Shanahan is 10-4 against McVay in the regular season. That is straight up rather than against the spread. But yeah, I'll take -6.5 at 4-5.
Very nice. That was another one that piqued my interest, but I just about swerved it. I'm going a little bit weird here, and it's just sort of one of those weird factual picks that I found. I'm taking the Cardinals plus point 0.5 in the first quarter. Bear with me. They've been one of the best first quarter teams this year so far. They've scored 21 points in the first quarter in the first two games, and the Lions, who they are up against, have been notoriously slow starters. They average 1.5 points per quarter in the first quarter. And the Cards, to be fair, said last week, and we bet against them, they do look a much better outfit than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. The offense looks to be gelling well. James Conner's running the ball really well. Marvin Harrison Jr. obviously shut up a lot of people last week. They're only 3-point dogs in this one, so I do think they might look to start quite fast. And they could even win it outright, to be fair. But yeah, give me the quick starting Cards and the half a point. So even if we are 7-all, 3-all, 10-all, whatever, in the first quarter, we get the win. Yeah, against this slow out the traps Detroit Lions.
Love the cards here, mate. Taking them at the +3, 10-11. Yeah, Kyler's looked very good through the first 2 weeks. If you sort of shuffle back to week one, not really knowing how good the Bills are going to be, Cards kept it close to them. Bills obviously looked like a good team, absolutely hammered the Dolphins. Obviously week two, to my disgust, the Cardinals beat the absolute brakes off the Rams. I don't think they should be underdogs ever. Well, not field goal underdogs here. We got a bit of Jared Goof last week. He was making some awful throws, threw the ball 55 times. My only worry about this play is if the Lions do sort of just stick to running the ball, taking it sort of out of Goff's hands. That's when I think they are at their best, but yet to see that from them. So happily take the Cards here. I think Lions are still being slightly overvalued.
Very nice. Just because we forgot last week, I'm not saying you have to do it now, but are any of those three your player of the week?
They're not, mate. No, I've got one. Got
Okay,
one coming up. I'll do
good.
mine next. The play of the week next.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just making sure, just in case. Okay, fine. My final game pick then. I'm going to take the Seahawks -4.5. It may be a tick higher than I would want, really, but Skylar Thompson's just crap, isn't he? Like, let's be honest. I don't think they're going to be able to push the ball down the field anywhere near as effectively as they can with Tua. And even with Tua, I mean, he's good, but is he worth the massive contract I gave him? Probably not. And they're playing against this Seattle team who sort of statistically on offense are not playing their best ball at all, really. They run it well against Denver, struggled last week. I think Kenneth Walker's probably missing again. Saw a video of him running in training in practice, and he looked kind of strained after like a barely sprinting. So I think he might be missing again. But Geno Smith is just the man. Apparently, he's been absolutely balling. He has the second or third worst protection in the league by pass rush win rate. And he started on fire. I just can't really see this being all that close, to be honest. I don't know how the Dolphins are going to put up points. Looks like Mostert's going to miss out again. It's just going to be a lot of Devon Achane, I think. So, yeah, I fancy the Seahawks here. And 4.5 is maybe a little bit higher than I wanted, but I'm confident in that anyway.
I like that, mate. That was one I was eyeing up, but opted to stick them in little teaser play instead. Right, player props. Let's go to DeAndre Swift to rush for 53.5 yards or more. Colts cannot defend the run at all. Mixon ran wild on them week one. Um, Packers had, I think I saw a stat they had 200 rushing yards in the first half, which is just sort of unheard of. Obviously, Willis was the quarterback against them last week. But yeah, I think it's going to be it's not going to be an easy game for Taylor Williams. It's going to be loud. Colts fans usually bring the noise. So I mean, if I was the Bears sort of game planning for this, I would try and run the ball as much as possible. Um, Only worry is the Bears' offensive line, but with how bad the Colts' defense is at defending the run, I'm willing to put down the over on the 53.5. So with DeAndre Swift.
Very nice. I'm. And was that your player of the week? Sorry.
No, mine one's next.
Oh,
Sorry, I meant to do it.
keeping us in suspense, honestly. This is my player of the week. I'm going to take George Kittle's over receiving yards. Obviously, we know Debo is missing a few weeks. This is obviously bad news for the Niners, but it's extremely positive news for Ayuk and Kittle, and to probably a lesser extent, Juwan Jennings. It was close between Kittle and Ayuk. There's about 12 or 13 yards in it. I just about favor Kittle. I think he had 8 targets last week, even with Debo playing the whole game. The only real issue for me is Brock Purdy going to throw the ball enough in a game where the Niners could win by a lot just because of how bad the Rams secondary is now losing John Johnson and how bad their offensive line is losing, well, everybody. So I'm hoping Purdy will have to do just enough to get the ball to Kittle, to get the yards and receptions. But yeah, I think he's got a massive part to play in the offense with no Debo. So yeah, give me George Kittle over 52.5 receiving yards as my play of the week.
Drum roll, please. Player of the week is also George Kittle.
What could go
I've t-
wrong?
I have taken just 50 plus, some
Okay.
like the receiving milestones, 10 to 13. Yeah, as you said, no Debo. I wasn't really looking at IU, still up in the air whether he's fully up to speed after not practicing all off season. Feel like Kittle will be the number one target. 7 games without Debo. I think this spans across the last 3 years. Kittle averages 88 yards per game. 3 of those games going over 120 yards. So, yes, very happily take that, George Kittle. Also, Rams playing against Lions and whoever they played last week, Cardinals. Sam Laporta went for 48 yards and 68 for Trey McBride. Obviously, on their team, they're not as much the number one receiver. So, yeah, happily take 50 yards for George Kittle.
Well, what could go wrong here? What could go wrong? This player of the week. All right, my second player pick. I'm buying into the Saints. I'm gonna buy in. I'm taking Alvin Kamara's rushing yards over 62.5. And every fiber of my body tells me that he's off to a really hot start and it's not to be trusted, but they've just been really good in the trenches, both on both sides of the ball. They've been really good against the run and they've been really good running it. And Kamara's been a beneficiary of some of the best run blocking in the league. And he now gets to go up against an Eagles defense, which has allowed nearly 300 yards in just two games on the ground. Obviously, Bijan and Josh Jacobs both absolutely ate against them. I think this will be a pretty close game. And the Saints are actually just favored, which surprised me a little bit. I really thought it'd be a pick 'em, but the Saints are about a field goal ahead. Um, so I would expect Kamara to get about 15 carries, maybe. Um, I know he's kind of a receptions guy as well. He only had 3 receptions last week, I think, on a few targets. So hopefully the receptions don't eat into his yards too much. But yeah, I'll be taking Alvin Kamara over 62.5 rushing yards.
Very nice, mate. We'll keep it with those Saints. I'm buying into Derek Carr, mate. I'm in. You just can't ignore it through the first 2 weeks. Scoring points on 15 out of 15 drives this season. 5 of those being passing touchdowns by Carr, which is why I've gone for Derek Carr over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's 20 to 23. Would have come in with both quarterbacks facing the Eagles this year. Kirk Cousins, obviously, on Monday night, and Jordan Love, week 1 in Brazil. I think there'll be quite a few points in this. So, yes, I like a little deep ball to Shaheed and then a screen to Kamara for this bet to come in. So yeah, we'll be taking Carr over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Very nice. I was pretty fortunate to pick up Rashid Shaheed on the waiver wire. I don't know if you
Oh,
saw,
you
but
got him.
the two
Nice.
people after me also both claimed from him. So I think I was seventh in priority and eighth and ninth went from as well. So Yeah, I think he might be starting for me with AJ Brown's absence. Anyway, I'll sort of finish off my wacky-ish picks with another wacky pick, which is Baker Mayfield over 8.5 rushing yards. I mean, he's steam past his total in his first two games. He's gone over 20 in both of them. And the Broncos have given up at least 20 rushing yards to both QBs in their games so far. Zach Allen, the defensive end for Denver, ranks in the top five for most QB pressures. So I don't think it's completely ridiculous that Baker has a designed run or two because he can move. He in that
Yeah,
he qualifies for the sneaky athlete, I think.
he broke someone's ankles. That
Yeah, he was
he killed
looking.
that line guy. Was it Rodriguez or something like that? I think his name
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely done him.
Yeah. So I don't think it's out the. I don't think it's completely wild that he has two or three scrambles and a design run or two. I mean, 9 yards is nothing. I'd really fancy him to get that. And just a little stat goes back to even the start of last season. In 14 out of 19 games, a quarterback has rushed for at least 9 yards against the Denver Broncos. So, yeah, those are the picks. Mate, let's hear yours again. I'll go through mine.
Yeah, I've just got a little sneaky little lean as well. I gave out the
Go on.
Seahawks -3 as a lean, not an official play. This one's a bit more fun in a game that I cannot wait to watch. Chargers go to the Steelers. It's going to be an ugly game, but it's going to be running the ball, one in the trenches. I like both teams to score a field goal in each half, getting 7-1 there. I think
Mm,
it's not going to be many touchdowns there, so I think yeah, little lean, little fun, little fiver on that 7-1.
very
But yeah,
nice.
I'll go through the official plays where Texans at Vikings under 46 points, 49ers minus the 6.5, Cardinals plus the 3, John J. Swift over 53.5 rushing yards, play of the week, George Kittle 50 plus receiving yards, that's on his milestones, and Derek Carr over 1.5 passing tutties.
Very nice. I've got the Raiders versus the Panthers going under 40. First quarter, Cardinals plus zero point 0.5, Seahawks minus a 4.5. And then I've got George Kittle over 52.5 receiving yards as my player of the week. Alvin Kamara over 62.5 rushing yards, and Baker Mayfield, the sneaky athlete, to get over 8.5 rushing yards. All right, there we go then. Those are the official picks. We have to hope for much, much better results than last time out.
Yeah, what was it?
Um,
Was it one win between us last week?
it
Uh,
was 1-10-1. Yeah,
I'll
that's
be
what happened.
I'll be honest. Giants should have won that game. If they had a kicker, they would have won that game. And I wouldn't have taken Eagles -6.5 if I knew AJ Brown was out. But yeah, that's my excuses. But yeah, no, 0, 5, and 1 for me. Not my proudest week. But yeah, no, as you
I can't
said,
even come up with an excuse, mate. I've got no excuses for what happened last week. Yeah, I can't fathom it.
bounce back, bounce back week.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a quick look at TNF as well next week. We've got Cowboys visiting MetLife Giants. Line is 7 for the Cowboys over, well, the total is 43. Um, God, no idea. Any
What
inclination?
we got? 7. Give me the Giants +7.
Interesting.
Taking it.
Interesting.
What was our one last week? Did we say Jets? I think we said Jets laying the points, didn't we? I think we took the Jets
Yeah,
-7.
that's gone down to 6 now. Don't know
Yeah.
why.
Um, yeah, I think the under's gonna come in tonight. But
Yeah, I fully expect them
yeah.
to wake up and see it was like 7-14 or something.
Yes. Yeah.
I will, I guess, take the over. I don't know, actually, I'm getting a little bit silly, maybe. Cowboys giving up quite a lot of points recently. Um, cool, mate. Best of luck with the picks. Hopefully, we are both much improved on last week.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Everyone else, thank you for listening and catch you in the next one.